All right, today, when you're writing up your solutions, you're going to use this template right here that you've downloaded from Google Docs. So you don't have to type out the question, you don't have to work on the diagram, but basically you're going to be editing this document and filling in your relevant information. For instance, you're going to put your name here. So that's simple. You can just type it in place, put the date here, and I'm just bolding it just to make it look nice. So you're going to put that information on there, and basically make sure that you save this. And when you save it, call it trigonometry review, and then call it your name or something like that, your full name, and that way it's clear who it's from. So when you email it to me, I know who it's from. So here's the diagram here, and if you read the question, we've already solved this in class, but we're just practicing how to type this up properly for stuff that we're going to do in the future in this course. So you can see here that the distance from B to C right here is 20 kilometers. So to show that on the diagram, you go Insert, Text Box, select the text box, and we're going to put 20 kilometers. You can change the size of the text box right here, and you can move it right to where you want. So you can put it right there. Now, some people don't like having the box around it, so you can actually click on it and then right click, and you'll see Format Shape. Really handy concept. And you can set the no fill. You can change the line style. You can set the line color, so you can actually change the line color, change the thickness of it, and or just actually make no line. So I like the no line. And if you put it there, you can move it, and there you go, 20 kilometers. So you can do that, and if you want to do fast from there, just keep that format. You can click on it, Control C to copy, Control V to paste, and then you can type in the other information here, 24, and over here, I think this is 20 degrees. So we type in 20. Now to get a degree symbol, what I'm going to do is put a 0 here. In fact, that's not a 0, it's an O. Highlight it, and you're like, well, that doesn't look like a degree symbol. Well, once you've highlighted it, you can actually go over to here, and you've got a quick toolbar at the top. And you can actually just press this X squared, or it's called a superscript. This is here is called a subscript. So we're going to superscript that. And there you go. So your diagram's coming along nicely. You can label this side what you're trying to find. So now you've got a nicely labeled diagram. The solution. Type solution. Since we know this is, we're trying to find this side here, and we have the two adjacent sides and the angle. Not a right angle triangle, so we can't use SOHCAHTOA. We don't know the angles adjacent and the side, the angles that are opposite this side, or the side that's opposite this angle, so we can't use the sine law. So the real only solution for finding this is using the cosine law. So let's say we call that x. Typing in a full equation here is actually pretty tricky. So what we're going to do is we're going to go up here to the insert. And we go to insert, and you'll see over here there's actually symbols and equations. There's a really awesome equation editor in here. So you click on it, and you have all these amazing options. You can pick all these different symbols, therefore symbols, theta, beta, that's theta variant. We've got epsilons, we've got greater than, plus minuses, times, division, all these things here. You can even change to different Greek letters and things like that if you want. We also have fractions, so you can put different types of fractions. We've got superscripts, subscripts, multiple scripts, anything you want. We've got square roots of, or cube roots, whatever you want. Quadratic equation even. We have integrals if you're taking calculus. We have summations if you're taking calculus. We have brackets, sine, cosine, tangent, all these things here. We have accents. It just goes on and on. Matrices if you want them. Really, you're going to only need a few of the ones over here. So what we're going to do, here's your equation box here. If you ever need to get back to it, you just go, you click on the box and you just go to, excuse me, you go to design. The cosine law says that it's x, so I punch that, x squared, and that was a fail, x squared. Then you hit the right arrow. If you hit the right arrow, that gets you down to the next line. You hit equals, bracket, 20. Now that 20 is going to be squared. So I highlight it, like so, and I go to design, and I go here, squared. Right arrow to get down to the next line, plus 24, highlight it. So it's a little bit tedious at times, but you'll get the hang of it. Another way to do it, if you don't want to do it that way, you can actually just go plus and then go right to your script, pick that, and then you can type in there. That's probably faster. And then the right arrow gets you to the next piece. Minus 2 times 20 times 24. And then we can go add our cosine. So that was up here in the function. So cosine of 20, like so. Hit enter. The next line is that we start solving this. So you can actually start solving it. When you get your final solution, so after you've done this for a little bit, and you go insert equation, and we get our final answer, which is x equals something. You can actually here, if you want to make this really fancy, you can actually go to your design and you can add the therefore. And that's in your little toolbox here. I think there's a therefore 3 dots. There it is. Therefore, x equals such and such. Your concluding statement would be, therefore, the distance from A to C is whatever the answer is. And if you want, you can actually highlight that and click the highlighter. That way you can see where the solution is. If you want to box your answers, something really cool you can do. You can actually say insert a shape. You can pick a box, put it around. You're like, oh, that doesn't look good. But if you right click, format shape, we don't want it to fill. Line color, I want it black, and I don't want it so thick. I want it really thin. And there we go. So now you have a box around it that you can change the size of, so it looks really fancy. So that's all you need to do for that. If you want to do something like the sine law definitely has, when you're doing that, you need fractions. So you can do fractions as simply as that. And we are going to insert our sine of an angle. I'll just make up some numbers here just to show you how to do it. Now, when you go to the your right arrow to get your other one, add in the fraction, add in my function, something like that, and then you would show the rearranged version and follow the same sort of thing. So it's really cool to use. It makes your documents look really impressive, and it's definitely a skill that is useful for future employment. Since you're going to be able to, you're going to need to know how to make these sort of documents in the future. When you're done, save your work and email it to me, and that way I have a record of it, and you can use your work from class as a reference for it as well.